We've been talking a lot about the updates of what's been going on with FTX, but I think it's also important to note that we talk a little bit about Grayscale because there is some significant concern on whether or not Grayscale could be the next big thing that collapses, like what we saw with the fall of FTX, with Terra Luna, the Luna Foundation earlier this year, and affected other things such as Three Arrows Capital. And we're seeing effects and ripples across the board with the fall of FTX. Grayscale, in case you guys don't know, they're a major player in the world of crypto as they're one of the most significant holders of Bitcoin out there. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. I'll have a link to this article in the description down below. This is coming from Cointelegraph. I'll share my thoughts and opinions on the end at the end of this video as well. The title of this article is, Will Grayscale be the next FTX? Grayscale is fighting the good fight on behalf of everyone in cryptocurrency. On November 18th, Grayscale, the asset manager running the world's largest Bitcoin fund, released a statement detailing the security of its digital assets products and affirming that it won't share its proof of reserves with customers. Quote, due to recent events, investors are understandably inquiring deeper into their crypto investments, the statement begins, which is quite the understatement following the implosion of FTX and the inquiry into Sam Bankman-Fried's questionable leadership. In no time, the question on everyone's lips became clear, will Grayscale be next? The answer is that it's unlikely. And that's largely because the people at the top, the ones who made Grayscale what it is, appear to be more competent than Sam Bankman-Fried ever was. Let's look at the facts. It's true and possibly undeniable that the crypto industry will take another dive if Grayscale doesn't fix its balance sheet. The space simply cannot afford another crash. Not so soon after FTX, and not that of such a key player. Grayscale oversees more than $10 billion in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other assets and represents its parent company's biggest revenue generator. Grayscale's parent company, the same that owns trading firm Genesis, mining company Foundry, crypto investment app Luno, and media outlet CoinDesk, among others, is Digital Currency Group, whose founder and CEO Barry Silbert shared a note to DCG shareholders on November 23rd addressing all the, quote, noise surrounding the company. He indicated that despite the so-called crypto winter, the company was on track to reach $800 million in revenue, and its separate entities were, quote, operating as usual. We have weathered previous crypto winters, the CEO's note read, and while this one may feel more severe, collectively we will come out of it stronger. Silbert is an early Bitcoin evangelist and a true cryptocurrency enthusiast, but unlike Sam Bankman-Fried, he has 28 years of experience under his belt. Before he discovered crypto, he used to be an investment banker in New York and was the CEO of stock trading platform Second Market, which he sold to NASDAQ in 2015. This is not, in other words, his first rodeo. Silbert, along with Grayscale's own leadership, has also been putting up a parallel fight with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission after regulators rejected its application to turn its flagship Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, or GBTC, into a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, or ETF. The first United States one. The SEC did so on the grounds of, quote, failure by the investment manager to answer questions about concerns around market manipulation and poor investment protection, but you could just as well make the argument that had they accepted the bid, cryptocurrencies would have had the opportunity to, quote, open up to more institutional investment and potentially avoid the current downturn we're experiencing. Grayscale then filed a petition challenging the decision with the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia and proceeded to sue the watchdog for what it called an, quote, arbitrary, capricious, and discriminatory ruling. In other words, to anyone who cares about the future of crypto and believes in the importance of regulators acting in good faith to propel the industry forward, Grayscale is fighting a good fight. Panic sparked by others is not a good enough reason to circumvent complex security arrangements that have kept our investors' assets safe for years. Grayscale's November 18th statement noted. They have proven their worth and substantiated their reputation with a decade-long track record of consistent growth. This is unlikely to change anytime soon. time to share my thoughts on this. So let's go ahead and pull back for a second here over to the ETF. The thing is that the SEC has been known for the last couple years, especially with the big issue that happened with the quote-unquote meme stock. That was with AMC, with GameStop, with Bed Bath & Beyond, with BlackBerry. There was a huge issue that took place because the idea of market manipulation was super in your face apparent. And guess what? When we have access to the internet and social media platforms such as Reddit, where collectively people can come together, be able to share links and pictures and information detailing a lot of the actual specifics behind these things, it started to reveal to the public eye just how the system is actually much favored for the institutional investors. And this is a system that's in place, that has still been in place for the last several years, that the SEC seems to have done very little, if anything, to try and change. And so the idea that something that's considered to be decentralized, which is Bitcoin itself, unless you're dealing with a centralized entity, like a centralized exchange, yes, there are issues that come into play there. But to suggest that there's more concern of market manipulation with something like Bitcoin, which transactions that are handled appropriately can all be seen through the blockchain, it's more transparent than anything we've seen before, is absolutely bizarre when you take into account the fact that you got the SEC essentially turning a blind eye to what's in everyone's faces. The amount of failure to delivers that we've seen, astronomical for some of these stocks, makes no sense. Right? You got dark pools and the amount of trading activity that's predominantly taking place there. You got the T plus trading days, right? It's a long list of stuff where when you see the SEC use as an excuse, well, we're concerned about market manipulation here. Really? We're already seeing Bitcoin ETFs. But unfortunately, we're not seeing it with one of the leading, if not the top economy. I consider the United States as a top economy in the world. But you take a look at that and you say other countries are already rolling out Bitcoin ETFs. And we don't have that yet here in the United States. Why? Well, let's go talk to the SEC. What's going on? What are they doing? What are they thinking? Personally, what I think, again, this is just my opinion, I think we need a restructuring of the SEC. I think that there needs to be a new head. Gary Gensler needs to be replaced with someone else because, frankly, I just don't think he's doing a good job. But again, that's just my opinion on that. Now, how does that tie back in with all of this? Because Grayscale, as was mentioned here, they themselves have been trying to push for an ETF. They are trying to be leading innovators within this industry space. And reportedly, as far as for the assets on hand, whether or not Grayscale actually has all the Bitcoin, they did purchase it off the market. It appears that it is true, but they're not being fully transparent with the community, which is what's causing a lot of concern for individuals. And the fact that they had some degree of association kind of tying back over here with FTX is another thing. Going through the DCG, which was the digital currency group, which was talked about here with Barry Silbert, right? He said, addressing all the noise surrounding the company, he indicated that despite the so-called crypto winter, the company was on track to reach $800 million in revenue. So moving forward with everything that's been so crazy, right? Because think of it like this. Yes, we've seen the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies go down tremendously over the course of the year. However, there are still people that are entering in. It's not fair to just claim that because price is going down, everyone's leaving. Like, no, that's not the case here, guys. There are new people that are coming into these situations as well. With Grayscale, if I remember correctly, they handle things on more of a long-term based perspective with their holders. So as it is, things are looking like they're okay, but I do agree that they need to be more transparent. And if you really want to have everyone be reassured, you need that level of transparency that just lays everything out on the table and says, we are for sure, okay. Tell us what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Do you think that there's going to be a big issue with Grayscale? Do you think they're just trying to put on a face like Sam Bankman-Fried was doing with FTX? Or what do you guys think? Tell us your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Last up is I want to tell you about Webull. Webull has a nice promotion going on. You can get up to 12 free stocks. They also have cryptocurrencies you can trade on their platform. You can open up an account. Boom, you get 2 free fractional shares. You deposit any amount, you receive between 4 to 10 free fractional shares. These are probably going to be valued around $3, $4 in range per share, but it could go up to $300, $3,000. Chances are very slim, but they're there. And so, yeah, guys, market's down. If you want a chance to get in on something that's free, if you acquire those stocks, whatever you want to do with them, you sell them, you swap it over for maybe Shiba Inu, something like that. You guys can have those options for yourselves. I've been using Webull for a while. I like it. I trust it personally, but again, it's just there as an option. Feel free to check it out if you want. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Also thank you to my YouTube members for your support. And if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode.